All right, so I still got asked about what is happening in the UK, what's the cause of the protests, why are immigrants asked to leave, why are immigrants being attacked. You know, my friends were asking, even people in my home country, they've been seeing the news all over social media, all over the television. Immigrants are being asked to leave the country and they are wondering what could be the cause. Well, I wouldn't want to start saying this myself. I would like you to listen to this British lady. She has a detailed reasons as to the cause of this protest or riots or whatever you might think about what is currently happening in the UK. Hear her out.
If you're unaware of all the protests going on, let me fill you in. 3 beautiful, beautiful girls got murdered in Southport by a black Christian man. Black Christian man being something that you need to remember in this whole video. So, before the black Christian man was revealed that he was a black Christian man, everyone's assuming, don't know where this assumption has come from, that this guy is Muslim, that the person who killed these 3 beautiful girls is a Muslim. Then Britain come together, they're outraged about this. And the reason I'm like this is because it's a fucking joke that they're outraged. I understand 3 beautiful girls are passed away, but this does not mean you can go out your way to bomb down a mosque. A mosque.
All right, so in addition to what this British lady has just said, it is so pathetic because my husband and myself, we were actually trying to understand what really happened. You know, why the riots, why were they saying immigrants should leave the UK? And then we got to know about the murder of these 3 innocent girls, 3 angels, aged 6, 7, and 9. They were just having their dance class in a studio when a young man who should be turning 18, or he must have turned 18, because as at that 29th of July that this incident happened, this young man was actually 6 days to turn 18. He was still 17. He said he walked into the studio, stabbed this innocent, or those innocent girls, little girls, 6, 7, and 9-year-old girls. Imagine their innocence, imagine their vulnerability, imagine their state of mind, defenseless children. Because at first I was like, what really happened? Was it teenagers that were involved until I read about all this? And I realized that they were just innocent babies. Innocent babies. Imagine, I have a 9-year-old in my house going to 10. I still cuddle him. I still hold him. I still embrace him. Imagine somebody harming my angel. Talk more of a girl of 6, 7, and 9. How would their parents be feeling? Now, this British lady also emphasized something, that after this incident, there was a kind of misinformation, assumption. This is a single story, judging people with a single story about a people. They presumed that the boy involved in this terrible act was a Muslim boy. So this particular body in the UK, they are called the EDL. It's a racist organization. They don't want people to come into the UK. They don't like, they kick against the immigrants in the UK. Their problem is immigration in the UK. Yes. So they started rioting. Imagine going to burn down a sacred place, that is the mosque for the Islam. They hold their mosque so sacred. It's just like the same way we respect our church, our church buildings and whatever that is inside of our church, the crucifix and all them stuff for Catholics. It is a place of worship. They started burning mosque, carrying out riot, destroying things around the mosque. Misinformation, a single story about a particular act. They assumed or presumed that the black boy that murdered these innocent girls was or is a Muslim boy. Mind you, this particular boy is also a black boy, though he was born in the UK, I think in Cardiff or so, before he moved down to Southport or something. Hear this lady again. I think I love this lady because she is very much plain and open. She's a British lady. You are not hearing this from my mouth.
So, these protests are run by EDL. EDL being a racist fucking organisation. And if you beg otherwise, piss off. They don't want anyone coming into our country, coming into Britain. Britain being the country that robs off every other country, by the way. You're all right going on holiday, not learning the language because you're a rude fucking English person, but you're all right when fucking you want to get other countries, other foreigners out of your country. Fuck off. Don't go on holiday. If that's the case, if you don't want other people going to our country, you don't go to their country. Anyway, so EDL has set up these protests to go around declaring war with anyone who even resembles somebody who is Muslim. These people might not even be Muslim, but because they're so angered and outraged. And can I just say, this is not even about the 3 little girls who have been murdered. It should be, but this is just an excuse for them to go around and destroy and abuse Muslim, black people, fucking brown people, literally anyone who isn't white, basically. There's been multiple messages off the girls' family, the 3 girls that obviously got murdered, that even they don't want these protests. These don't want to cause more anger and uproar than they're probably feeling. They're probably going through it all right now. God bless all the 3 girls' souls. And that's the last thing they want. So I don't understand. I can't fathom it in my head why British people are causing this to get immigrants out of our country. The same immigrants that come to our country work for fuck all. They get paid fuck all to work. And because you're all like, oh, we want our jobs back. Do I see any of you applying for jobs? No, you work for fucking nothing. You get benefits and then you're like, oh, they're taking our benefits. Who the fuck gives you the right to take that money anyway? I beg people educate themselves before.
So did you hear her out? She stated that this wasn't just about being a Muslim, they go around attacking people who are particularly immigrants, people of color, Asians, whatever origin you are, hence you are not a British person. A lot of things are ongoing in the UK currently. Even in the placards, these protesters are carrying, they talk about even if you are a British person, even if you acquire a British citizenship by paper or whatever, that is just a single sheet piece of paper that they just issued to you, it doesn't count, it doesn't make you British, and all what have you. So the most terrible thing is that they are also attacking the people of color, being that the boy involved in this is a black, and mind you, that boy has just turned 18, possibly in this very August. Yes, definitely, because as at 29, like I said, he had 6 days to turn 18. So possibly yesterday or 2 days ago, he turned 18. So the law will take its due course. But that notwithstanding, I feel terrible and devastated for the families who lost their angels. I call them angels. Children that are less than 10 years old. What do they know? Because it's so terrifying living in the UK at this point in time. Because when you think about it, if you go to work every day in the UK, your life is very much at stake because you don't know if you would be attacked. And assuming you use public transport to go out, to go to work. Yes, what am I even saying? Today, I saw a video of a carer who went in to do a 12-hour shift in a home. Before he could finish his shift and came out of the house, his car had already been burnt down to ashes. And he was asking these rhetorical questions. What am I even doing here? I went in there to care for somebody. On coming out, my car has been burnt. All right, this British lady further reminded us of this recent incident about Lucy, the British nurse who murdered 6 babies.
I know the funniest thing of all, there's a woman called Lucy, right? She was a nurse. She killed six babies. 6 babies, but no one's causing a protest over her. Do you want to know why? Because she's white. Everyone ignored it. She's a woman and she's white. Privilege. No one's speaking about how she just killed 6 babies. No one's having protests. Nobody's battering white people for that. You want to know why? Because she's white. So don't try and come at me saying, oh, immigrants need to go back to their own country. You need to fuck off out of Britain. If you're the one causing all the violence and doing all these protests, you should get the fuck out of Britain. You're not making Britain any better. Where's your contribution to the country? Nowhere. Fuck off.
They should leave and let others live. And the claim that immigrants are taking away their job, I don't know how justifiable that is, because a lot of immigrants here, they are doing the jobs most British people may not be able to do or do not want to do. Just like this lady stated, that some of them are on benefits. I've seen a couple of videos about a lot of British people kicking against those that claim that immigrants are taking their job away from them. If you use something like cab or taxis in this very country, have you noticed that anytime you ring for a cab, it is always an Asian person, Indian, these are the drivers in this very country. You hardly would see a British person coming to pick you up. Yes, a lot of them are carers, I know. A lot of them work in the healthcare sectors. But most of all these jobs are being done by immigrants. And this lady also mentioned something, the lady in this very video, about the Britain, having deprived other countries of a lot. I don't want to go into that history. This is not what this video is all about. It is just to let a lot of people who do not know what is going on in the UK to understand the cause of this protest, where it is emanating from, the origin, though they have had this kind of thing against immigration in this country ever before Rishi Sunak stepped down. That Rishi Sunak was bringing a lot of immigrants into the UK, which was true. But God so kind, Rishi Sunak has also stepped down. I'm not Indian, but can you picture what could have been happening in the UK right now, assuming that Rishi Sunak is currently in power in this very country? It would have been worse. In fact, what is currently happening in the UK would have been worse than we presume. Every Indian could have been targeted. But as if God knows something, this is happening when a British PM is in power. But it's quite a pity. I don't know how somebody would judge, though knife attack is common in the UK, but I don't know how anybody in their sane mind would wake up and use a knife to slash another. It is barbaric, it is terrible, it is something that no one should ever do to anyone. you know so I am not in support of what happened in any way. Yes, because now I am terrified. I can't even go out to shop. Yes, I can't even go to work. And God so kind, this is happening during the long holidays, summer holiday. Imagine if our children are still going to school. Parents, honestly, I don't know what will be happening. Yes, I don't know. It would have been worse than it is currently, because children will not be safe at school. Parents will not be at rest. How do you even take your children to school? How do you even drive your child at school? How do you even drive your child to school? It could have been worse than it is currently. But the government is actually doing something. The police, they are promising a lot. They protested within my area on the 3rd. That's Middlesbrough, Stockton. Stockton was on the 4th, and they still send mails and letters in their WhatsApp group saying that they would never stop until they get rid of the immigrants. The immigrants are not your problem. I don't know. Not everyone is an asylum seeker. Even those who are asylum seekers in this country, some of them, they are doing better. To be honest, they are doing better. I have one that runs a charity organization, bring people together. Even homeless British people come to this lady. She feed them, she clothe them, she give them shelter. She is doing well for herself already. A lot of legal immigrants in the UK, they are doing the job and also contributing to the tax system of the British government, thereby making it possible for those on benefits to enjoy this their benefit, continuous benefit they enjoy. So I don't know why they are targeting people of color and all the immigrants. The law should take its course. And the family of these deceased angels, they have also said that continuing this riot and protest destruction is causing them more pain. It will make them to remember that this is happening because of the loss of their angels. Yes, that people should stop this. So I don't know why this particular body is up and fighting everyone. Besides, you guys travel on holiday, you go to other countries to enjoy whatever they have. Even when you speak English, you don't speak their language, they still accommodate you. Right now, in this very house, I am expecting immigrant, a Syrian immigrant into my home. Yes, he will be having a room up there in this mansion. So, and I'm a Nigerian, a black Nigerian, welcoming a Syrian. let's just leave and let live, to be honest. So this is particularly because of the riots or protests in the UK, as the case may be. In case you don't know, for those that kept asking, for those in Nigeria, for those outside of the country that kept asking, what is going on? What is happening in the UK? Are you guys safe or all that? Yes. I don't know what has become of my home currently because I've not been in my home for a couple of days now. And within my street, we've had this young man, is a middle-aged man who is constantly terrorizing the immigrants within my street, warning us, fuck off, go back to your country, this and that. And he drives in his car, he will just wind down and say, hey, you black bitch, go back to your country, blah, blah, blah. you know Though what I did was to let my landlady know that I'm not in that house currently. Yes, because I'm afraid for my life. I don't know if I'll be sleeping in there with my little one and somebody will just come and set the house ablaze. Being that young man that goes around, speaking down on all of us immigrants, especially people of color within that vicinity, he knows where every one of us is currently staying. I don't know what he's capable of doing because I saw a video last night, a group of, I think, three boys, they just went to a home. I mean, they just scattered the house. Even the car, they broke the windscreen of the car. I don't know. I don't know how to describe that video. I wish I could put it here, but YouTube does not allow all that. I just had to leave my home because of that warning I usually get from that young man. What can I do? You know, Thanks goodness the government is doing something to calm the situation down. I just hope that Britain becomes great again. Like they've been carrying the flag saying, make Britain great again. Yes, because this has been the country people feel safe to come to, people feel relaxed. When you talk about the US, they talk about the knife attack and all what may do, not all in all the states in the US, but in the UK. Gun life and all these attacks, they are not common apart from knife attack. But this recent incident, it will set a lot of us running out of the UK since this is what you guys want, especially the legal migrants or immigrants who are working to support, to boost the tax system of this very country. A lot of them would be considering moving over to a different country. My friend just rang me today that they just arrived in Canada. They are the man is a doctor, a GP practitioner. They just arrived Canada with a family. They left the UK after how many years? Do you blame them in the face of all this that is happening? Yes, a lot of immigrants, they are going to leave this country. Yes, to a place that is more quiet, more safe for them to stay. UK has been a safe country for a lot of people, calm, and a place a lot of people would consider to be a home for them, especially immigrants in their old age. But what is currently happening, it's a no. It's a bad signal. It's a bad signal, to be honest. We just hope that the government is able to calm this situation and life would come back to what it used to be. But even at that, it will still be terrifying. Imagine getting on a bus now. I wouldn't trust the next person next to me. I would be feeling that maybe somebody would just hijack me, choke me, strangle, that kind of a thing, that kind of fear. You know, walking on the street, you are scared. Just God help us, to be honest. It's so pathetic.